Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of the Storytime Society. I'm your host Jamie and I'm so happy you're here. I'm so glad you're alive. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't already, please press the subscribe button, maybe the like button, and also I would love to hear your thoughts at the end of the episode, what you thought about any of the stories that we talked about or just any of the thoughts in your brain because I love to chat with you guys. We also have a Spotify linked below and a subreddit linked below if you ever want to contribute to either of those or whatever your heart desires. Oh my god. Okay. Sorry, I'm always out of breath whenever I start these. I'm like, oh, and here's my guest of the day. She's not very talkative, but she's just here for emotional support. But I actually am going to get straight into the stories, okay? So, what I'm going to start doing is just reading the stories, and then at the end, I'm going to have a segment of me chatting, and then also after I get like a good amount of advice questions, because the form for asking for advice is linked below, I'm also going to add that to the end of the episode. So, the end of the episodes are going to have two segments chatting with me, just me updating you on my life if I have anything to update you guys on, and then like advice. I'm going to pick some advice questions from the form that I linked below. So yeah, we're just going to get straight into the story time now. Oh my god. That way you have like a choice and you can, because obviously I do put timestamps on these videos, but you can stay to the end if you want and listen to me chat and yap, or you don't have to stay till the end and you don't have to listen to me chat and yap. And that's your choice, you know? So we know the real ones will stay, of course, because we just have that bond. We have that relationship, you know? Ugh. Okay. Let's get in with the first story. The title is I think my wife might be cheating on me with a 17-year-old she coaches, but I don't know for sure. What should I do? All right, I never thought that I'd be in this situation, but I'm completely at a loss here and I need some advice. My wife, 33 female, has been acting really strange lately, and I'm starting to think she might be cheating on me with one of her kids that she coaches. I feel sick even typing that. Some background, my wife is an accountant by day, and in the evenings, she volunteers as a soccer coach for a local youth team. She's always loved soccer, and I thought that it would be great that she was involved with the kids and the community. But recently, she's been dropping weird comments that are starting to really concern me. It all started about 2 months ago. She casually mentioned one of the boys on her team. He's 17, and I won't say his name for obvious reasons. At first, it was harmless stuff, like he's really talented for his age, or he's a natural leader on the field. I didn't think much of it because she's a coach, and it's her job to encourage the kids, right? But then the comments started to get weird. Like one night out of nowhere, she said, You know, kid's name has really pretty eyes. They're so striking. I remember thinking, that's an odd thing to think about, to say about a kid you're coaching. I kind of brushed it off at first, but then more things followed. Another time, she came home after practice and said, He's so much more athletic than anyone else on the team. It's impressive how developed he is. Again, I tried to shake it off, but my gut started nagging at me. Why is she talking about him so much? Then there's the fact that she's been getting way more secretive. She's always been open with her phone and emails, but lately she's been turning her screen away from me. And when she texts or checks messages, I asked her about it and she just laughed it off, saying I was being paranoid. She's also been staying later and later after practices. At first, she told me it was just because they were prepping for some tournament, but now, even with the tournament over, she's still coming home late. When I ask, she gives vague excuses like, oh, the team needed extra help, or I had some paperwork to catch up on. Here's the thing that really has me spiraling. Last week, I came home early from work. I expected to have the house to myself since she was supposed to be at practice, but when I walked in, I found her sitting on the couch, texting someone with a huge smile on her face. When she saw me, she quickly locked her phone and got super flustered. She said it was just one of the parents asking about the game schedules, but it didn't feel right. I don't have any solid proof, but something just feels off. Why would she be talking about this kid's looks? Why is she suddenly so secretive? I haven't been able to shake the feeling that something more is going on. I don't want to accuse her of something so serious without any real evidence, but I also don't want to ignore my instincts. I love her, and I really don't want to believe she'd do something like this, especially with a kid that she's supposed to be mentoring. So, Reddit, what should I do? Am I reading too much into this? Is she cheating on me with a 17-year-old, or am I just being paranoid? How do I even begin to how do I even begin to confront her about something like this? Any advice would be appreciated. I'm honestly feeling lost right now. I mean, that's crazy. I do agree that's like very weird to be saying about this like young kid that you're mentoring, and especially like saying that like he's a really good team lead or like player is one thing. That's not, I don't think anything's wrong with that. But then like starting to talk about his looks and how like developed he is, as if you're trying to like convince yourself that he's developed enough for it not to be illegal for you guys to be together, you know? I don't know. But there's one update, so I'm going to read it because I really don't have any advice for this other than the fact that honestly, go through her phone. That's what I would do. Sorry. I know that it's an invasion of privacy, but if it's something this serious where it's like actually could be something illegal and it could affect this little teenager for his whole entire life, I would definitely think that that is a good enough excuse to look through her phone. Okay, updates. Hi everyone. First off, I want to thank all of you for the overwhelming amount of comments, advice, and support on my original post. I really needed some sense knocked into me, and I genuinely appreciate the community's input. It has meant a lot during this confusing time. After reading your comments, I took some of your advice and contacted my lawyer on the evening of my original post. I'll go into more details about that shortly, but before diving into the updates, I'd like to clarify why this post is coming out now and in this format. Unfortunately, after posting, my original post was taken down and I received a 3-day ban from the subreddit. Thankfully, the post was later restored, but I had to wait until the ban lifted to share updates. I did keep track of each development and wrote them out as they happened, so I'll be sharing them in chronological order, just as I intended from the start. I am posting the updates on a new post because there is so much to say, and I think creating a new post is best for organizing all of the updates in a clear manner. In the update post, we'll include a link to the original post for those of you who may not have seen it. Okay, let's see. We're gonna go to his posts. Oh, there's a lot of things on here. Okay, oh god. Link to the first update, is it removed? I'm confused. Oh god. Okay, my suspicions were correct. My wife has been secretly messaging a 17-year-old that she coaches. What should I do next? Lord. I took some of your advice and reached out to a lawyer. Oh, wait. No, yeah. This is right. I took some of your advice and reached out to a lawyer. Well, sort of. An old friend from high school who's now a successful family lawyer and happens to be visiting this week. While family law isn't exactly what I need, I'd rather speak to someone I trust before hiring a lawyer and potentially escalating things out of control. I'm meeting him for coffee tomorrow and will update you afterward. I'm hoping he can give me some solid legal advice without things getting too intense. I obviously don't want her to be arrested or anything drastic like that, but I also don't know what to do next. Right now, I'm not even angry. I'm just overwhelmed and in shock. It's hard to process that someone I've been so close to over the last 2 years might not be who I thought and could have been hiding something awful this whole time. Post update 2. The last 5 days have been absolute hell. The title is a bit of a giveaway, but pretty much everyone who commented was right, and my own suspicions have been confirmed. After talking to my friend, the lawyer, we agreed that I should confront her with my concerns, suggesting looking through her phone together just to put some of my suspicions to rest. I realized how risky this was, but we really didn't have a lot of choice considering there was no clear proof that anything weird had been going on. He suggested that we meet somewhere quiet, but still in a public setting in case she decided to freak out and do something irrational. I decided to take her to our local park where I sat her down on a park bench well away from any crowds of people. When we sat down together, I told her how serious of a situation we could be in and that she must be completely honest with me and that I want to be on her side, but the way that she had been acting had led to some serious suspicions. I explained to her that I didn't want to break the trust between us, so I had decided against looking through her phone, despite how tempted I was. When I told her the concerns, she immediately got defensive and started denying everything. She called me a paranoid asshole for even suggesting that she would be in a relationship with a minor. She said the fact that I would even question something like this means that there's probably something wrong with me and that I must be the one hiding something. Honestly, the way that she reacted just confirmed to me that there was something that she hadn't been telling me this entire time, and that without her cooperation, the safest bet was just to probably leave. I suggested that we look through her phone I suggested that we look through her phone together just to provide me with closure. And even if there was nothing to hide, it would mean a lot to me that she would just humor me and that it might even be fun to look through together and laugh at how ridiculous I was being. She screamed at me for trying to invade her privacy and that I had massively overstepped the line before storming away from me, back to the car and driving to her friend's house to stay for the night. I don't know what she talked about with her friend, but at around 3 a.m. this morning, I got a really long text from her giving her view of the situation. The messages were as follows. The entire message was considerably long, so I've summarized it for this post. My wife said, I really don't think what I've been doing is wrong. It started with me just helping this kid with some extra practice because he was struggling to get the hang of some of the drills we had been working on in the day's training session. These private sessions were becoming more regular, and after about 3 weeks of extra training sessions, he sent me a friend request to my Instagram. He wasn't the first one of the team to send me a request, and I wouldn't usually accept them, but as I was giving this kid private coaching sessions, I thought that it made more sense. He started to send me some DMs, so I responded, because I'm not a total asshole. Okay, maybe the texts aren't just about soccer anymore. There's nothing wrong with being friends with a kid. You've always been super close to your younger brother and never called you out for being weird. The message then proceeded to say how much of an asshole I was for trying to call her out and trapping her in a situation that would always leave her looking bad. She ended the message by telling me that she thinks that she'll be able to look past this and forgive me for being a total insecure dickhead, and that if I ever questioned things like this again, she would be filing for a divorce. I was in complete shock when I read this response, as I have never seen this side of my wife. This is not the kind, loving, respectful, and open person whom I had married, and it is driving me totally insane. I just don't know what to do. I understand that she was telling me I understand that what she is telling me was not normal, and I can't believe how naive I have been for so long, but I still feel like there's even more going on that she's not telling me. Her long message didn't actually explain why she had been messaging this kid so much and for so long, or why she had been spending literal hours every evening locked in our bedroom or on the sofa just on her phone. I don't know, maybe I am just being paranoid. Maybe this is more normal than I'm making it out to be, although this seems unlikely. Should I still try to look through her phone anyway, despite what she's told me? When we had met the previous day, my friend mentioned that this was out of his field, but that I shouldn't contact the police until I was more sure of anything, because if we did end up getting a divorce and she is technically innocent, calling the police on your wife for providing extra help to a kid she coaches wouldn't look very good for me in a courtroom. Again, I apologize to everyone for the late update, and I know this post is kind of all over the place, but I hope you've been able to follow. Edit, this post was temporary. Okay, we get it. It was removed, whatever. All right, well, see, that's why I think that he should have just gone through her damn phone. Because now she's going to delete all the proof of everything, and then you're not going to be able to see the truth. Like, that's so annoying. But there's more updates. I didn't even know this when I picked this story. So, sorry, but I thought that it was just one story, but there's many updates, I think. Some of them were like removed though, which is so stupid. And yeah, she's gaslighting you, bro. She's gaslighting you. Like what? She's literally saying that it's not weird. Dude, it's weird. In any context of the situation, it's weird. Like, yeah, you're not a teacher, okay, whatever, but I'm pretty sure when you're like in high school and stuff, you aren't able, as a teacher, you're not able to accept the students like friend requests or like Instagram requests. I'm pretty sure I was told that when I was in high school. And you can like after you graduate, which I think I became friends with a few of my teachers. Honestly, I feel like why do I feel like I like might have become Instagram? I feel like someone might have followed me on Instagram after I graduated or something. I don't know. I can't remember. But I'm just a little bit like, why is he being so silly about it? Why is he being so naive? You gotta cut through the bullshit. Like, come on, just realize that this is obviously a very, very weird situation and it's not normal at all. And you should have just went through her phone because it's not illegal to go through someone's phone, right? But the thing is that well, you know what? Oh, wait, sorry. There's no more updates. Wait, I thought that there was. I'm annoyed. So that means that he hasn't even figured something out yet. That was like the last post that he made. That's stupid. Can you just go through her phone? I'm like stressed. This poor little boy, like, he's 17 years old. Okay, that's not like little, like you're not 12, but 17 still is very much wrong and obviously illegal. Even if he was 18, that'd still be so fucked up to me. I think that's so fucked up. Even if it's legal, I still think that's fucked up. And that's just gross. Like, ew. Nar. Nar. And I would be so concerned if my significant other was talking to a young kid like that on the daily. And also personally, like, you can give him extra lessons as much as you want, but as soon as it gets personal, that's weird. Because why do you have anything in common with a 17-year-old, and why are you constantly texting him? You're definitely, I mean, what else are you talking about other than soccer? That's creepy. What the hell would you talk about with a 17-year-old being a grown woman that's married? Weird. Weird. And you're grooming him because you're his mentor. The power dynamic is obviously very much off. So, grody. That would give me the ick, and it would make me, like, okay, more serious than the ick, but this is just the way that I'm wording it. It would give me the ick, and it would make me want a divorce in general. Like, I would never be able to move past that. I'd be like, you're disgusting. That gives me the ick. That's actually scary that you're that desperate and you're like, actually, you're a predator at that point. Sorry, but you are. Okay, next story. Am I the asshole for refusing to let my brother bring his girlfriend to Thanksgiving after she disrespected my wife? I, 31 male, am married to Lily, 30 female. My brother Josh, 29 male, recently started dating Lindsay, 27 female. And while she's been polite at family events, Lily feels that Lindsay has made some passive aggressive comments. For example, at a recent barbecue, Lindsay said that it was selfish that Lily and I weren't planning to have kids anytime soon. Lily felt uncomfortable, but I didn't say anything at the time. Another incident happened at a family dinner when Lindsay remarked, "I'm surprised you two are so happy without kids. You must be really good at being selfish." Lily was hurt by that comment, and it made her feel like Lindsay was judging our life choices. Most recently, at a birthday party, Lindsay made a comment about Lily's career, saying, "It's cute that you're working part time with no kids while Josh and I are really focusing on our careers." Lily was annoyed, but didn't say anything because she didn't want to start drama. Thanksgiving is at our house this year, and when Josh asked me if he could bring Lindsay, I told him that I'd prefer she didn't come. I explained that some of her comments had made Lily feel disrespected, and I didn't want to ruin the holiday. Josh got upset and said that I was being petty. He argued that I was overreacting and that Lindsay was just being honest, but I stood my ground. Now, Josh says he won't come if Lindsay isn't invited, and my parents are caught in the middle. My mom thinks that I'm being too harsh, but I feel like I'm just standing up for my wife. Am I the asshole for refusing to let my brother bring his girlfriend to Thanksgiving? It's weird that people think they have a say on like people's life choices, and also, why do you feel the need to bring that up? Like, that's definitely very obviously passive aggressive. It's cute that if she really said that like word for word, that's really really passive aggressive, and that's so rude of her to say. It's cute that you're working part-time with no kids. Okay? Like, just say you're jealous because I'm working part-time and I have free time and I don't have kids. It's fine if you don't want kids. Like, what's the deal with people thinking that you can only be happy if you have kids? Like, I'm not saying that I don't want kids, but I can understand why people wouldn't for many reasons, not just because you don't want kids. Like, there are other reasons, like the state of the world, that the fact that there's so much, it's overpopulated, the world's so overpopulated, and just everything, like, in the world that's going on, to be so scared all the time about having a child being brought on this earth. Like, I get scared thinking about bringing a child onto this earth and just constantly having to worry about every single thing. Like, it's not like, I'm not saying nothing happened when I was younger and that like this kind of crime didn't exist, but I also grew up in Iowa in like a small town. But like, I could never let my kid go play on like in the neighborhood like I used to. You know, I'd be so stressed. I would need like a freaking GoPro strapped to their forehead so that I could see, like on like those cats on TikTok where the people literally strap a camera to their head and then they like live stream it. That would need to be me with my kid if they ever like went out and played night games with their friends like I used to. Like, and that used to be the fun thing about being a kid is I could just walked a couple blocks over where all the neighborhood kids hung out and we would play night games, ripstick, pogo stick. Like, we would do so much fun stuff outside and we didn't have to worry about being kidnapped or like freaking human trafficked, which obviously I know that those issues have been going on for a long time. I'm not oblivious to that fact. But nowadays, like, it's so much worse. And even in my town, things have gotten so much worse. Like my hometown, things have gotten so much worse there, and it just isn't the same as it is what it used to be. But it's really sad because I wish that like that weren't the case because obviously by the time I have a kid, it's probably going to be even worse. I mean, let's hope not, but I feel like it's going to be. Okay, let's read some of the comments. You're awesome for standing up for your wife. I read a lot of these sorts of stories and wait, why am I reading like that? I read a lot of these sorts of stories and the significant other often stands off to the side, letting their spouse fend for themselves. So your brother defended Lindsay rather than saying, you know, she was badgering Lily with her opinion. I'll go talk to her. I'm sorry my girlfriend treated her that way. That's his choice if he doesn't want to come, but it is your home, and you and Lily are entitled to not be the subject of harassment of someone with an agenda. She is your wife, and you are standing up for her. Good for you. Hopefully your mom understands that eventually. He didn't stand up for his wife at all. He sat there silently while Lindsay abused her. How can you call him awesome instead of spineless? Yeah, I mean, you should have. I mean, for me, girl, if somebody says that at first, I'm gonna be like, what? Wait, what? I'm gonna be so caught off guard that I'm not gonna realize that what they're saying is like fucked up, and then I'm gonna think about it for hours, and I'm gonna be like, wait, and I'm thinking about all the things that I should have said, and then the next time they make that type of comment to me is when I'm literally gonna go, what the fuck did you just say? Like, I'm gonna be a bitch to you. I'm going to absolutely be like, this is the second time that you've made a passive aggressive comment like that. Is there something that you would like to say to me? Because the way that you're insinuating that, like, I don't know what she's trying to insinuate, that I'm a loser or that you're like not happy because you don't have kids, is a little bit crazy, and you should really say it with your chest, girl. Like, okay, you can do whatever you want with your life. And if I want to be a world traveler and not have a job and be a nomad, I can also do that. I don't have to, you don't, oh my God, that's actually the most annoying thing ever is the fact that, like, focusing on your career, and careers are just such a point of focus in this day and age. Like, it's just so, like, you should be focusing on your career. You should take time to focus. What if I don't fucking want to? What if working is not my life and I don't want to revolve my life around that? Like, what if I don't want to actually, if you love your 9 to 5, that's one thing, okay? But not everyone does love their jobs, or even if it's not a 9 to 5, whatever. You don't have to center your life around working. You don't have to like live to work. You can work to live, and that's totally fine. You don't have to be, it's so annoying that like the first thing, especially when you're like single and you're meeting new people and stuff, and the first thing that they're asking you is like, what do you do for a living? What do you do for a living? And I just like want to kill myself. I'm like, I actually hate that. And especially like meeting older people, like, I don't even know, just people, I don't know, who have I met lately? I'm trying to think. I don't know, but meeting older people and then like family of friends or something like that, and they're asking about what your like career is and stuff. And obviously for me, it's like, so it's, I hate explaining that kind of stuff because it's like I do social media and I feel like older people either think it's really cool and they're like, wow, that's so cool. Like when I was younger, that job didn't even exist and that's awesome that you're making like a living off of it. Or they're like, oh, and you're planning on doing that forever. That's like so annoying. So I hate talking about stuff like that and I just hate unless they're like obviously interested in it and they're not being rude about it, but there's obviously like a stigma with stuff like that because older people think that the only way that you should live is like by working a 9 to 5, 9 to 6 and having kids and living like a family life when not everyone wants to do that. But whatever. Yeah, it's annoying. I mean, I think you have every right to say that, or you have every right to at least be like, I would love to chat with her about it and come to terms with what is going on, like how she's feeling. If she wants to tell me exactly what she meant by those comments and then not like hopefully apologize to me for saying those things because hopefully she would realize that what she's saying is very rude and passive aggressive, then that would be great. Like I'd be open to have a conversation with her. But otherwise I'm not comfortable with having someone that's actually like targeting me for no reason. Like what did they do to her? Jesus. She's being so aggressive. And passive aggressive is like the most annoying because it's like, do I punch you or like what? Okay, next story. Am I the asshole because I canceled a Christmas trip to Disney for my girlfriend's kids? Maybe it will be ex-girlfriend soon. Ashley and I have been together for 3 years. Her kids are 9 and 12. I get along with them and they are good kids. I'm not their dad, but they are polite and respectful. My parents have bought them Christmas and birthday gifts ever since they met. I had a good year and I wanted to do something nice for the kids. Ashley and I talked about it and we were going to take the kids to Disney World over Christmas. The problem is that her ex wants to pitch in and come with as well with his wife and their kid. I don't really want to go on a holiday with this guy and his family. I talked to Ashley and I said I would prefer if it was just us since this is our first big family holiday. She said that her ex really wanted to be there for the kids' first trip to Disney. We argued and I gave in. Then the plan was told to me. He really can't afford to stay where we are going to stay, so he and Ashley decided that I should change our reservation and stay somewhere cheaper. Fine, I don't really care. I wanted to treat the kids to something awesome, but as long as we stay somewhere nice, then I'm happy. We chose a good neighbor hotel at Disney Springs. It's nice and it still allows for early attendance and has character events and such. It turns out that was supposed to happen. It turns out that what was supposed to happen was I cancel our reservations at the Grand Floridian and use the money to pay for an extra suite at their hotel. Their idea of him pitching in was paying for flights for his wife and kid. I said, F no. Ashley said that the kids really want their dad there. I said that he was welcome to take them. She said I was being cheap since I could afford to do this. I can, but that's not the point. I do not want to do this. I can afford to do a lot of things. I only do them if I want to do so. We had a big fight and no. Wait, what? And no gave her the tickets for her? I don't know what that means. We had a big fight and I gave her the tickets for her and the kids to go and I canceled the flights in the hotel. Now she is mad at me because she went through all the trouble and expense of getting the kids' passports and luggage and stuff. I told her to tell me what the cost was and I'll reimburse her. Her ex called me to say that I was being a prick and hurting his kids. I said it probably hurt them more when he had a kid with another woman and left their mom to go be with her. I don't think I'm in the wrong here, but maybe an outside opinion would help. Thanks. P.S. Her ex is a manipulative POS. He still tries to control her, and I'm sick of it. Yeah, I mean, you're paying for this. This is like something that you're offering. It's not something that anyone's entitled to. You're offering to do this, and then they're going to come in and like take over the whole thing and be like, actually, you need to change your hotel to this and this and this. Like, I feel like the girlfriend's definitely taking this for granted because if that were me, I would be like, absolutely, I love that you want to come and be with your kids, but this is really something that my boyfriend wants to do for our kids. And he doesn't want to be uncomfortable when he's spending all this money to go on a trip and take a trip with the kids. And he wants to have like a nice time. And I wouldn't also want to spend time with this in this situation either. That just makes it uncomfortable. Unless you guys are like good friends and he's a good guy, which obviously you meant, like he mentioned that he wasn't a good guy, then I wouldn't want to go either. Like, I totally understand. Why would you want to spend all this money to be uncomfortable and put in a bad situation? That's just like the worst case scenario. And there's no reason that anyone needs to be forcing you to do that. But I've seen a lot of situations like this. I feel like, and it's so annoying. Okay. Wait, did I read comments on here? No. Okay, let's read some comments. Not the asshole. A gift you are gifting shouldn't be on someone else's terms. Exactly. Your girlfriend has gold digger vibes. She is more interested in pleasing her ex at your expense than she is interested in pleasing you. Your initial offer of the Grand Floridian for her children and the children for her and the children was fabulous. She had to ruin your lovely gift. Why would you want to vacation with her ex and pay for most of it? 100%. Why would you want to do that? Like, what? That's so dumb. His idea of pitching in was buying tickets for himself and his family. Okay, that makes no sense. Not the asshole. He wants you to pay for his hotel by downgrading yours. LOL. Did he expect you to pay for his passes too? What a leech. Wait, did he respond to that? No. Your girlfriend is an even bigger piece of work, expecting you to enable and fund her ex-husband's BS. She said I was being cheap since I could afford to do this. She has found herself in an ATM in you, and by extension, so has her ex. Good job for sticking up for yourself, not the asshole. Seems like everyone's just not the asshole. She bit the hand that is providing, and now she is being slapped with boundaries. I would have canceled the minute she included her ex. If she wanted them there for her kids' sake, then he can pay for all that by himself. Her ex still controls her. I would not be reimbursing her for the passports. Those Disney tickets for Disney during Christmas are expensive, around $200 to $300 each. I would inform you knew the kids were a package deal, but her ex was not. She is making him part of the deal of being along with his new family. What? Oh, of being along with his new family. This is a no-brainer to end the relationship. She overstepped too many times. Deal breaker in so many ways. I did see this thing though today that was saying how like in a lot of Reddit subreddits they are always commenting like the first solution is always to end things with your partner, and that's like I forget the way that they worded it, but they were saying how like you're not allowing for growth or like emotional growth within a relationship by just ending a relationship the first problem you have, which I completely agree. And I think that this is definitely like a lesson to learn and something to sit down and talk with her about in a serious manner and really bring up the concerns and the way that you feel exactly like you did on this subreddit. And then if she like can understand that and then work on it, I think that that is like completely fine. And then just working on it, and as long as she's like helping to improve the situation, then it's fine and you guys should continue your relationship, you know, because obviously like nothing comes easy in a relationship. Not that it's supposed to be like super hard. A relationship's not supposed to be super hard, but at the same time, it's not going to be super easy. Like you're finding, especially when you already have kids and an ex involved that you have kids with, that's a completely different story, which obviously I've never experienced. So I'm not going to put too much advice into that. But I just feel like it's kind of hard to like, or not hard. It's just stupid to say that you should just end your relationship after one issue, you know? Even if like this is a continuous problem, have you really sat down with her and talked to her and let her know that this was a continuous problem? Because that's definitely something that you should do. But I don't know. I hope that things go well. I mean, I feel bad for the kids. Obviously, they were like looking forward to going to Disney, which I don't know where they live. Oh, well, they obviously have to fly, so they can't. Because, like, for me, I could just drive to Disney, but that's a different situation. That's just, I mean, I hope that they work it out and she can understand that, like, and see that her ex is still trying to control her and will take in your perspective and stuff and kind of set boundaries with her ex because that's definitely something that needs to happen. Also, the way that he told him off on the phone, I love. I honestly love. That's like something that I would do and then like hang up and be like, oh fuck, did I go too far? Did I take it too far? I remember like I used to be really bad at that. Like I used to say things without thinking about it first. Like I would just be quick to anger and just say something, and then I would regret it after. I'd be like, fuck, I shouldn't have said that. Like that was mean. But I would have I think that this guy deserved it 100% because he's trying to control the situation and butting into this whole thing saying that you need to downgrade your hotel room and pay for my hotel room at this cheaper place. Like, what? Are you okay? I'm like itching for some reason right now. Okay, well, I think that's the last story that we're gonna read, but we are gonna chit chat a little and do some advice stuff, which I don't really. Okay, we're gonna actually start with an advice question that. So I have a Google form below if you need advice from me. Okay, I'm not saying that this is going to be professional advice. I'm not a psychologist. I'm not a therapist. I am literally just a 26-year-old girly that has a little bit of life experience, not that much. So I'm going to tell you, I'm going to try to be the best and the smartest about things that I say because I don't think I give terrible advice and I would never like try to give bad advice. So I'm going to do my best, okay? But yeah, if you want to put some advice in the form. It's linked below. It's a Google form linked below. But I cannot stop itching my body right now. I don't know what's wrong with me. All right. So someone said, I'm 21 and have never been in a romantic relationship before. I do want to be in one. I get to the talking stage and then I panic and pull away. I've been in therapy for it, but the biggest thing for me now is the shame of never being in a relationship, having a first kiss, and not knowing anyone who can relate. Okay, wait. I actually feel good about this. I, not personally, but first of all, 21 girl or boy, I don't know, you're young as hell. So it's totally okay. I think that it's hard because in the modern day, we are very like equipped to think, not equipped, we're quick to think that like it's so normal for you to lose your virginity, be in so many relationships, like blah blah blah, etc. But 21, you're still so young and it's totally okay to take your time. From what I can tell from the first thing you saying that you get to the talking stage and then you panic and pull away, it sounds like you have a little bit of an avoidant attachment. I don't know. I'm not a therapist, like I said, but I've dealt with a lot of people that have avoidant attachments, and that's definitely something that you can work on. I actually have a very anxious attachment. Um, and I've definitely gotten way, way, way better. I used to be so much worse. Like it took over my entire life, my entire personality, and which is one of the reasons why me and my now boyfriend had broken up previously because that whole first year of us dating was just me being an anxious mess because we were long distance, which honestly I feel like is valid, but for him, like for the way that he was towards me, it wasn't valid because he treated me very well and was very well like communicate good at communicating and stuff. But when we got back together, we worked on this relation yeah, it was like it was a couples workbook. So I actually have it. I should have brought it over. I wonder if I should grab it. I don't know, but it's a couples because you're not in a couple, obviously. So you would want like a individual book, which therapy is definitely really good. I'm wondering like how long you went into therapy. Maybe if you have gone to a therapist that kind of specializes in this kind of thing with like attachments and things like that. If you could possibly, if you have the ability to look into something like that, that would definitely be great. That's definitely something that I worked on with my therapist. But when me and my ex, who is now my current boyfriend for 2.5 years, got back together, we bought a couples workbook that worked through relationship attachment styles, or even being out of a relationship, you still have an attachment style, right? Like, obviously, when you get into a relationship, your attachment style might come out more. And then when you're not in a relationship, you might be more secure attachment style. And the goal really is to work towards being secure in a relationship. And a lot of people are not. But I think it'd be a good idea to maybe look for a type of workbook for attachments and learning how to deal with your attachment style. Or first step is probably to take the attachment style quiz and see what you are, because I think once you do and then you read about it and you kind of can learn about yourself through that, it helps a lot. And that's like the first step. And then it's like, okay, you can point out why you're like this in certain ways and certain things. And I just want to let you know that it's totally okay to not be in a relationship at 21. And honestly, if anything, I wish I had not been in a relationship at 21. Also, by the way, I had been in my second relationship when I was 21, barely. I don't even count my first relationship because it was in high school. I was 15 years old. We dated for like barely even 6 months. Um so I really barely even count that. And then I started dating someone at 18, and that was my long 4-year relationship, which I wish that I had never even gotten in, to be honest. So, obviously, when you're not in a relationship and you see people around you being in relationships, you're wishing for that. But to be honest, you might, and when you're older, realize that like you're glad you didn't get into a relationship, because a lot of relationships at this age are not healthy, and usually, not always, but most of the time, aren't going to be the person that you end up with. But I don't think that it's something that you really really need to focus on. I feel like at 21 you should focus on making your friendships stronger, making focusing on yourself more, and trying to better yourself as much as you can. There's no like perfect, or there's no end goal in like bettering yourself, but trying to feel more secure in yourself and learning things about yourself, because when you're 21, there's so much to learn. When I was 21, I had no idea who I was, which obviously is different for everyone. Everyone's at different stages of their life at that age and like feels different about themselves, but I don't even feel like I knew who I was, and like at 25, like 25 I was still trying to figure it out. I'm still trying to figure it out, but I'm definitely a lot further than I was at 21. Like when I look back, when I was 21, I was a mess. Like I had no idea who I was. I was struggling to find individuality. Like I was depressed, had bad eating disorder. Like it was not the best, and I was in a relationship. So, if you think that being in a relationship is going to make you happy, it's definitely not. The first thing that makes you happy is yourself and being content and confident in yourself. And really the goal is just being content in life. And then you're happy and you're sad some days, and that's just the way that life is. But also, I have a really close friend that's actually a year older than me, and she didn't have her first kiss until like 2 years ago. And she's has never been in a relationship. So, I think it's totally fine for you to be 21. I think it's fine to be any age and not be in a relationship, but I can understand like the want to be in a relationship and struggling with that. I can totally understand that. But don't feel shamed for not being in a relationship. I feel like it's not, maybe people around you can't relate, but there are definitely a lot of people out there who haven't been in a relationship at 21. But I definitely think that the first thing that you should focus on is figuring out the reason that you're panicking and pulling away. And if you are still in therapy, that's definitely something that you should focus on in therapy. And if you're not, possibly getting back into therapy and looking more into that, and having your therapist help with your attachment style would be a great idea. I don't know if that helped at all, but I feel like I was really all over the place and jumbled, and that's probably how I'm going to be for most of these questions. But that's our advice segment for the day. If you want to submit any advice, the link is below. And yeah, I'm going to chit chat with you guys just a little bit to like update you on what I did over the weekend and stuff, because I feel like I usually like to do that. I like for you guys to like know what I'm doing, even if I'm not doing anything. And I'm just like, oh yeah, I went to do this weekend. But this weekend actually kind of some drama happened. I'm not going to like completely explain the whole situation because it's like a long situation. Um But I hung out with my friend this weekend and we went to a little cafe. We got mimosas at night. They have like all day unlimited mimosas if you buy an entree. And we both got like burgers and we drank mimosas for a while. And then we went back to her house and we watched the stupid ass Jake Paul Mike Tyson fight. But we had texted one of our friends that we aren't really friends with anymore, and our friendship kind of started out as like a three person friendship, like a trio friendship, and I moved more towards where this girl lives, and so we started being more friends, and the other girl lives like 30-40 minutes away, so we kind of stopped hanging out with her. We also don't really like have that much in common with her, honestly, and we have a lot in common with each other. We have a lot of the same interests, and we watch a lot of the same stuff and do a lot of the same things. We like to do a lot of the same things. So I feel like it's so hard with trio friendships. Trio friendships have never worked out for me. It always ends with like two people being close and then the other person like not being in the friendship anymore, you know? And I don't know if that's like, I don't know why, but I just feel like that's how it goes. I'm sure for some people it works out, but the amount of times I feel like it hasn't worked out for me, and it's always just like one person kind of slowly like gets out of the friendship and then like two people grow closer together, and that's kind of how it was. But we texted that girl and I kind of was just I asked her to hang out. And we were like drunk. So I don't think we would have done that if we were sober. I don't think we would have asked her to hang out, but she woke up the next day and actually absolutely crashed out on us. She got so pissed. She was like, "Why the fuck are you guys messaging me and asking me to hang out?" We obviously know like that me and Jamie were never the best of friends. Like energy doesn't lie, blah blah blah. I could tell that you never vibed with me. We were like bumping heads a lot more than we were vibing and all this stuff. And I was like, "Damn, I'm catching strays right now. Like I didn't even do anything to you, girl. I don't know why you're freaking out on me right now." And she's just saying how like it'd be best if we kept our distance. So neither of us responded to that because we're like, okay, respect, we'll keep our distance. And then a few hours later, she messaged us again, like, wow, no response. Really? I was really looking forward to what you guys had to say, all of this stuff. She was going crazy on us. And we're like, what's going on? Like, I didn't realize that that would start so much drama, just texting someone to ask to hang out. I don't know what is wrong with you today, but we wish you the best, girl. So yeah, that kind of happened, and that was like crazy because I've not dealt with something like that in so long. Like I never have drama in my life. So it's like so weird when that happens, and then I'm like, "Damn." I felt like so much anxiety. I was like, "Why is there drama right now? Like there should not be drama." And I'm like 26 years old. Why is this happening? But yeah, I wish I could kind of explain more, but it would take like 2 hours. It would take so long to explain fully like that situation. So maybe a little like over time, I'll tell you guys a little bit more. But we'd had, I'm like wondering if I should go into details because obviously at any point in time she could see this, but I'm pretty sure she would know that I'm talking about her anyways. But yeah, that was crazy. But I guess we're not friends anymore. That really was the closing of our friendship with her, which is kind of sad, but like I don't think we were ever really gonna hang out again. Anyways, oh, also this guy DM'd all three of us because we used to have a podcast together, and he asked all three of us like separately, "Where's the podcast at? Like it's so overdue." And she texted us last week about that, and we both just said like, "Yeah, the guy basically DM'd us the same thing," and then she was like, "Oh, okay, cool." Like I think she kind of was picking up on that we weren't really like saying much because we didn't send a screenshot of what he said. She sent a screenshot to us and she's like, "It's giving fake account." And then when she was crashing out on us on Saturday, she was like, "Did you guys make that account and you made a fake account just to DM me and see if I would talk shit about you guys?" And I'm like, "What? I do not have the time for that, girl. And I actually don't care if you talk shit about me because I feel like I already know you talk shit about me, so it's fine." But yeah, that was funny because I was like, "Wait, girl, you're being paranoid." And I sent her the screenshot of what he sent me. I'm like, "Girl, he sent me the same thing. He asked me where the podcast was at too." But yeah, that's my weekend. And what did we do yesterday? Oh, we took Willa to the green market in her stroller. Oh my god, she was such a good girl. She literally hung out the whole entire time. She was so good, like a little dog. It was so cute. And I opened the stroller for her. I just like had her harness connected to it so that if she jumped out, she wouldn't run away. But she got all the fresh air. Like, we walked around the market. She got to meet people. They were all petting her. They loved her. They were like, "Oh my god, she's such an angel," because she is. She's really an angel. Because people were like nervous. They were like, "Oh, can I pet her?" I'm like, "Yeah, dude. She won't hurt a fly. She loves everyone. She would never, ever, ever do anything to hurt anyone." So that was really fun. And she's just such a good girl. She's such a good girl in car rides. She's such a good girl outside. She's never meows ever when she's in the car. Like, she doesn't cry at all. She just falls asleep. But it was really fun to just walk her around. And we got some apple cider donuts, and we were looking at, like, they had this little like quail egg stand, and they had like the quails there, and then they had like the wings and the head and like dehydrated quail and stuff. And he gave me a little bit of the dehydrated quail because I wanted to see if she would like anything from there, but she didn't like it. She didn't even eat it. So I didn't get anything, and I feel bad because I was talking to him for a while, and I always feel bad if I don't buy something when I'm like wasting people's times. But it was like at the end, and no one was coming up to them anyways. But yeah, a lot of people took pictures of her because she's a little angel. And Frankie also looks like a little angel right now. I always cry about them like dying because I think about it in the future how I'm going to be so upset. And she's not even 1 yet. He's barely even over the age of 1. And same with Poppy. But I still get so sad. And I just like cry multiple times a week about it. I saw somewhere someone commented about it. And I guess it's called preemptive grief. So that's me. That's what I have a lot, all the time. Because I can't believe they can't live as long as us. That's like so rude and fucked up. Because what am I supposed to do? I'm supposed to lose my cats, and then I'm supposed to get new ones and then lose them? That sounds terrible. Like, I almost wish, I'm like, I love them so much and I'm so happy that I have them. But then sometimes I'm like, damn, should I have gotten them? Like, I really put myself in a situation where I'm going to lose them and I'm going to be heartbroken. But I guess it's how life works, right? It's gonna suck so bad. Okay, that's all I had to chat with you about. I love you guys so much. I really hope that you enjoyed the episode, and comment below what you thought about anything that we talked about today. Love you. Bye.